Well, today, crews are still cleaning up fuel that was spilled following a train accident in Valencia County. The tractor trailer hauling diesel fuel was struck by a train last night on Jorales Road. 4,500 gallons of diesel spilled. The driver of the truck was not hurt. State police say there is no threat to the surrounding area. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Additional crisis intervention training is set to begin today for Albuquerque cops. Eventually, all Albuquerque police officers in the field will receive it.
This comes after the U.S. Department of Justice slammed APD with a very harsh report just a few weeks ago.
Police officers are one of the few folks who deal with folks in crisis or individuals who are mentally ill who don't have to have a specialized license or degree.
Dr. Troy Rogers here is leading the training, which focuses on de-escalation techniques in dealing with the mentally ill. At the Police Academy, cadets get 55 hours of basic crisis intervention training. Now they'll get 40 more hours. And right now, just 27% of officers already have that extra training. Deputy Chief Bob Huntsman here, a former APD commander who was rehired to oversee changes with the DOJ report, says this is a big step in regaining the public's trust and the first of what will be many changes.
We have all got to work together to come up with solutions that will help us make the reforms and the change.
APD, as you know, has come under scrutiny in recent years for how officers deal with the mentally ill, most recently for the deadly shooting of James Boyd here in the foothills last month. 10 CIT, crisis intervention training classes, are scheduled through this year, an additional 8 next year. The classes are not cheap. Each one costs up to $25,000. The report from the Justice Department also asks for community meetings so you can say how you think APD should be reformed, and those meetings start tonight. First is at the Alamosa Community Center at Gonzales and Coors Southwest. Tomorrow's is at the Palo Duro Senior Center off San Mateo, just north of Comanche. And Wednesday's meetings at the Cesar Chavez Community Center. It's off Catherine Southeast near Louisiana and Southern. All of the meetings go from 5 until 7.
The father of a Bernalillo County Sheriff deputy killed in the line of duty is worried officers might think twice these days about protecting themselves.
Officers have to be alert every day that they're out on the street. You know, it's simple as that.
James Green Sr. is the father of Deputy James Green, who was killed by an armed man during a traffic stop in 2006 at a fundraising event for what's known as the Street Officer Survival Training Program in honor of McGrain Jr. The slain deputy's father tells us he's concerned about the effects the increased scrutiny and criticism surrounding officer-involved shootings will have on cops.
We've been so worried about that, and I know of a couple of instances where officers hesitate because they don't want to be demonstrated against or be on the news, and they can't hesitate.
In its 9th year, more than 3,000 New Mexico officers have gone through the Officer Survival Training Program. An Albuquerque woman is out of jail after she allegedly goes to extremes to be at her dying brother's side, who had just been in a car crash.
Deputies say she rushed through the crash area and ignored their commands. This crash happened at Coors and Gun Club, where Ken Martinez died after the truck he was riding in slammed into a power pole. Investigators say Martinez's sister, Leticia Romero, showed up screaming for her brother, then ignored demands to stop when she almost hit a deputy with her SUV. Deputies say she kept on driving until another deputy pointed his gun at her. Yesterday, she was in court and made a tearful plea to the judge.
I am from Sueto, where we do take the burial within days, and I would like to be present for that.
The judge says he sympathizes with her but can't ignore the serious charges. He did, however, reduce her bond to $10,000. And again, she is out of jail this morning. The driver in the crash, Giselle Ohoa, was rushed to UNM Hospital. Deputies say they're looking to see if alcohol was involved. Well, a man accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff is still in jail this morning. Albuquerque police arrested this man, Adam Trujillo, after they say he stole from 20 different people. We're talking stuff worth anywhere from $35,000 to almost $100,000, including a home theater system taken from a home in Sandia Park. They say Trujillo even managed to steal this hot air balloon. His bond is set at almost $100,000. Well, UNM police say they think they know the third man involved in raping a student 2 weeks ago. Investigators are not releasing his name just yet because he has not been charged. They're waiting for DNA results first. Police have already charged Lobo running back Crusoe Gongbei and Ryan Ruff, a former UNM student, in the case. Police say they kidnapped a woman at an off-campus party a week and a half ago and repeatedly raped her in the back of a car. Well, this is the first anniversary of a horrible event, a stabbing at a Catholic church here in Albuquerque.
It happened on a Sunday morning in April during Mass. Police say 25-year-old Lawrence Capener jumped over the pews and stabbed 3 men at St. Jude Thaddeus Church on the west side. The 3 victims survived, but will never forget that day.
He came at me so quickly and just started doing the ice pick maneuver, and he punctured my back and then sliced up and down my arm several times.
Just instinctively, I dropped my flute and I charged him.
Capener told detectives he went after one of the victims. He thought the man was a Mason involved in a conspiracy. Capener is in jail. His trial is set for September on charges of aggravated assault, attempted murder, and 3 counts of aggravated battery. The DA says if convicted, Capener faces more than 20 years in prison.